and you will see the app. Here is the aforementioned soundbite. This is a father talking about. Now, this pretty much dovetails perfectly with what I was just talking about, Howard. The stupid, the dingbat, diabolically inspired mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, out there droning on about, imagine if they could, imagine if they told you this and that and the other. There'd be the same thing would happen in the oncology office that happened at the OBGYN. In the oncology office, we're not dealing with human beings that are going to grow to be other human beings. In the obstetrician office, we are. In no comparison. So listen to this guy whose girlfriend, wife, whoever it was, decided that his daughter did not deserve to be born. To live, and I think that this just flows from the argument I just made.
Daughter's name is Clementine. She was 5 months along when she was aborted. My daughter was healthy. I begged her mother not to go through with the abortion. She was confused, and she regrets it now. My daughter was 5 months, and she was ripped apart. My daughter doesn't get a funeral. This has been a month and 3 days. I have her sonogram picture the first time I heard her heartbeat, and I bring this up to people, and I say, well, she had a heartbeat. Wasn't she a person? And I'm being told she's a fetus, which, by the way, everybody, that's Latin for offspring. So I don't know why we're speaking Latin. I speak English. I'm told by my friends, I'm crying over somebody I never met before. Why isn't my daughter human enough for people to care? Why isn't my daughter woman enough for her to have a body and for her to have a choice? My daughter was going to be beautiful. As a father, I'm just supposed to forget. I'm just supposed to move on. I don't know who did this to my daughter. I wish I could ask him, was my daughter beautiful? My daughter matters. She is loved, and I hope that everybody can keep her memory alive too. Thank you.
Play it on loop. Put it on the television screen outside every Planned Parenthood abortuarium in the world, and this madness will come to an end. Will there still be babies that are going to be aborted? Yes. Are there still going to be women that are going to choose to do so and men that are going to tell them to do so? Yes. But it won't be legal. And when you and I stand in front of the judgment seat and ask, Michael, what did you do to protect the most innocent of my children? I would be able to say, everything, Lord, everything I could. By the way, that little girl was to be born this coming July 20th. That was the due date. July the 20th. In the state of Florida, if you nitwits, what an irony. By the way, a lot of people in Florida boasting and bragging about, people don't live in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut. Yeah, they're coming to Florida. You're not going to like what's going to happen. You know what? Those leftards that created that hell on earth in Connecticut and in Jersey and in New York that moved to Florida, you know what they're going to vote on that initiative about killing babies? The one I just read to you last segment, they're going to vote yes. And you're going to go like, how in the hell did Florida become day of abortion central? So now you can literally have abortion tourism. Oh, yeah, Universal Studios on Tuesday, Planned Parenthood on Wednesday. Call it a week. We'll go see Kissimmee Falls on the way out. And it's going to happen in Florida. Maryland is already one of the most pro-abort states. Not enough, though. There ain't enough. There's never enough. You ever notice this? There's never enough killing for these people. The amendment question in Maryland now seeks to enshrine an undefined, quote, right to reproductive freedom. No, it's murder. It's killing. You can call it whatever the hell you want. Reproductive freedom, they call it now. And they've been using. See, they can't actually call it what it is. Now, my thing has always been, dude, if you're so sure that there's nothing that's human there, it's just a gelatinous blob of cells, what do you care what it's called? Are you going to have a guilty conscience or something, sweetheart?
Just like Bill Maher said, it's murder.
Remember the Bill Maher 2 weeks ago? Look, let's call it what it is. It's baby murder, and I'm okay with that. Because there's 8 billion people on this planet, Maher said, and I don't think we need any more. So I'm okay with that. He thought that people were going to go, it's so funny. And instead people went, dude, Mr. Maher played. Don't say that, what he did. And New Tenochtitlan, where you could already kill to the day of. What are they, trying to extend it now to 63rd trimester? Oh, okay, this is what Maher said. Here you go.
Well, not if you believe it's murder. You know, that's why I don't understand the 15-week thing. Or the Trump's plan is, let's leave it to the states. You mean, so killing babies is okay in some states? Like, I can respect the absolutist position. I really can. I scold the left on when they say, oh, you know what? They just hate women, people who aren't pro-life, pro-choice. They don't hate women. They just made that up. They think it's murder. And it kind of is. I'm just okay with that. I am. I mean, there's 8 billion people in the world. I'm sorry, we won't miss you.
Good Lord, dude. Former altar boy, fallen away Catholic. Pray for that guy. Dude, you don't recover from that. You know, there are 9 ways to be party to someone's sin. You just committed 2, Bill. I'm not one of these people that likes to lord it over. And I look at this and go like, man, dude, if you don't fix that, bruh, it's going to get really hot and steamy for a very long time, kind of like forever. That's not something you want to leave hanging out there. It is you know, our friend Katie is messaging me. It's a sad state of society where it's okay to openly say we are okay with murdering. He just said it's murder. It's okay. But wait a minute now. But we can't parse. And we can't make any determination. We can't deviate one iota. You got to go just like this. Whatever the International Holocaust Recognition Association says is the definition of anti-Semitism when it comes to the murder of Jewish people. And by the way, St. Maximilian Kolbe was a Pole. He was also killed in a concentration camp. There were many Catholic priests. There were many Protestant pastors who were also executed by the Nazis. Yes, predominantly the Jews, but there were plenty of Christians as well that do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go along with your plan, Adolf. Don't think I'm going to go along with that, Addie. When you can plainly say and state that, yes, it is killing and we're okay with that, God is not okay with that. It doesn't matter whether you're okay with it or not. Again, God is already going like, yeah, I'm pretty much going to say that. I'm not okay with that. And I pretty much have been saying that for, I don't know, about 6,000 years now. You can look it up if you want. It's in a bunch of old books and some newer ones. And then Jordan Boyd lists the other states this is going to be on the ballot on. But you know what, folks? It's always, you can hear the howl of evil. It's almost like it senses that there's something going on out there. By the by, that reminds me, if somebody was sent a email or something 10 days ago or so, TKD, look at all the stuff that's happening out there in the world, including Russell Brand is becoming one of us. He's going to get baptized. And then the next day, 2 days later, there's Russell Brand on his video reading tarot cards. I don't know who's going to baptize you, brother, but they should tell you a little bit about those cards. And, yeah, you shouldn't be handling that. But I do think that something is afoot. And I do believe that the march of evil, the demons always overplay their hands because they're filled with pride. That's the first sin, and the demons are always overreach. They're always going to overreach, and they're in the act right now of overreaching. You know, this evil that is happening with children and the mutilation of them. These are things that are just beyond the pale. And then you have an entire, many people in an entire civilization out there going, well, that's okay. That little boy wants to compete. You know, I thought about this, as a matter of fact. The boys that are competing in girls' sports. Richard Barrett brought this up on his Barrett Brief show on the Crusade Radio Network this weekend, and I thought it was a profound point. So I'm just going to steal it from you, Barrett, and expound upon it. Did you see what happened at College Campi at the end of last week? And by the way, when someone is an anti-Israel protester, boil that down. What are they really? It's not anti-Semitism. It's anti-whiteitism. When they see Israel, they see white people. White privileged people bombing the snot out of brown people. Like George Carlin once famously said about bombing brown people. Remember?
I'd like to talk a little bit about the war in the Persian Gulf. Big doings in the Persian Gulf. You know my favorite part of that war? It's the first war we ever had that was on every channel plus cable.
Plus cable. Got good ratings.
And the war got good ratings too, didn't it? Got good ratings. Well, we like war. We like war. We're a warlike people. We like war because we're good at it. And you know why we're good at it? Because we get a lot of practice. This country's only 200 years old, and already we've had 10 major wars. We average a major war every 20 years in this country, so we're good at it.
We're good at it.
And it's a good thing we are. We're not very good at anything else anymore. Huh? Can't build a decent car, can't make a TV set or a VCR worth of Got no steel industry left, can't educate our young people, can't get health care to our old people, but we can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Huh? We can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Especially if your country is full of brown people. Oh, we like that, don't we? That's our hobby. That's our new job in the world, bombing brown people. Iraq, Panama, Grenada, Libya, you got some brown people in your country. Tell them to watch the f*** out, or we'll goddamn bomb them. Well, when's the last white people you can remember that we bombed?
All right, you get the point. Barrett was making the point, and again, I think it was a good one, that what happened at the end of last week? No, again, anti-Israel, anti-white elite privilege, to me. Is there some anti-Semitism, whatever you wish to call it, that in there? I'm sure there is. It's not all of it, though. Most of it, if you look at it, it's almost all women and effeminate, faggy-looking dudes, okay? So who comes to the rescue at the end of last week? What happens at Ole Miss? What happens at, actually, I think it started at Arizona State. What happened at LSU the other day? What happened at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill? Frat boys. Now, this is interesting. Why are all of a sudden people going like, yeah, the frat boys came, it's frat America, and they sing the Star Spangled Banner, you are die. 2 months ago, there were white, egalitarian, elite, privileged punks. They were white boys. They were trust fund babies. They were hated. They were despised. They never worked a hard day in their life. Everything was given to them because of their rich white parents. You had all of these fraternity boys and various fraternities across the amber waves of Biden's recovation. Toxic, that's right, the whole toxic masculinity. But, oh, hey, when it comes to fighting anti-Semitism, though, we love us some toxic masculinity up in here. Well, which is it? But I think that Barrett's point was, and I think it was a good one, they have been told, all these white kids, these white fraternity boys, shut up. Shut up. You have gotten all you're ever going to get with your white privilege. We're going to shut your little departments down. We're going to bar you from entry. You're not going to get into med school. We're not going to let you do this. We're going to kick you out of that. The girls are going to run the show, et cetera, et cetera. You are anathema to us. This is the Mike Church Show here on the Crusade Radio Network. Oh, but when they started showing up and started defending the flag and shouting down a little faggy protester, and now all of a sudden, now they had a whole march of them yesterday in Chicago. Now all of a sudden, white redneck Pabst Blue Ribbon swillers are heroes. Well, which is it? So the white fraternity kid who was persona non grata 2 weeks ago is now back. But, as soon as this is over, the whole thing will be called off. They'll go back to being what they were previously. Mike Churchill here on the Crusade Radio Network. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Trading Post Store. Shop.mikechurch.com. Get you a copy of Is Davis a Traitor for a mere $9.95. Sale ends tonight at midnight. It's in paperback. This is the read on the state of secession. Whether or not it was legal or illegal at the time that the southern states decided to do it. Somebody told me the other day, I was in a conversation and we're talking about this, and I go, forming a union, secede. Or secede. Somebody goes, last time they tried to do that, you saw what happened. I said, well, last time they tried to do that, there weren't Air Force bases and there weren't naval stations and there weren't Army depots and munitions stationed throughout all those states that we just mentioned. Today there are. Again, this is always, to me, folks, it is a political question. It's not whether or not, yay or nay, it's whether or not you have the courage to do so. And it's a political question. It is not a question of morals. It's not a question of law, because the law is settled. If you truly believe in the right to self-determination and self-government, then any man at any time can make that determination. You can do what Ronald Wilson Reagan used to say, vote with your feet. 844-527-8723. And again, the creature must never exceed the creator. What about when you get birth and you have children there, take out there, and then they go on to become all-stars and genius? It's still your son, still your daughter. He should still pay due respect to mom and dad, to mother and father. The creature still never eclipses the creator. We have a situation, a very dire situation. I keep wanting to go into to get into Donald Jeffries and Kat McGuire, and I will. Top of next hour, I promise. Jeffries' piece is just, he's such a good historian. That's what makes his, hers is Mayday, Mayday, U.S. has soft coup d'etat. His is anti-Semitism versus free speech. Somebody was making the point the other day when we were having this conversation about this, about self-determination and what have you here, that if you do this, again, is it a legal, moral, or constitutional question? Well, constitutions are a set of rules. It's what constitutes a union. There's no rule that says the union has to exist. There's no rule that says the European Union has to exist, which is why the people of Great Britain decided, we gone, G-O-N-G, gone. And Brexit was the thing. Now, did the European Union send sorties and threaten nuclear exchanges with the Brits when Brexit happened and the people of England decided to go on their own? No, they didn't. What did they do? We said, well, we're going to take our ball and go home, and you're not going to get this and that and the other. I'm going to tell you, this is going to happen in spades when it is revealed that the Russians are going to ultimately be the victors in this disaster